Good morning, everyone. I am Marna S. Ali from DMD1B. Now, I will discuss to you the types of communication. But first, let me provide you with some information on communication. What is communication? Communication is the process by which people send messages or exchange ideas or thoughts with one another in a verbal or non-verbal manner. Communication is interaction between two or more people. It is the act of giving, receiving, and sharing information. Being able to communicate effectively is perhaps the most important of all the life skills to learn. Why? Because it helps us to understand each other and enable us to pass information to other people. Also, communication is important because it allows us to express our thoughts, feeling, and what we want to say to another person through verbal or non-verbal communication. So now, in order for us to learn more about how to communicate effectively, let me expand your understanding of communication. Let me introduce to you the types of communication. Types of communication. There are 7 types of communication. First, the verbal communication. The verbal communication is the use of auditory language to communicate with other people. It is the sharing of information between individuals by using speech, words, and mostly sounds or vocalizations to express yourselves and to give and receive information. Verbal communication is one of the most common types of communication that people use to communicate with each other. It includes the voice or sounds and speaking. It helps us to say something or express ourselves, and the receiver can easily understand us when we communicate in a verbal manner. Some examples of verbal communication are face-to-face conversation, a speech or presentation, and having a phone call with someone. So I prepared a little demonstration of verbal communication. Let's watch it.
Ouch! Sorry. Hi, China. Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Where have you been?
I've been somewhere.
Oh, how's life?
It's good.
Number 2 is non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is the transfer of information that is not by speaking, but through the use of non-verbal platforms such as gestures, facial expressions, body movements, and eye contact. We use all of this to communicate or to express ourselves so that the receiver can understand the sender. Non-verbal communication is the process of sending and receiving message without saying anything. It is a way of communicating without using words or saying anything, and it provides cues to others' thought actions rather than words. As I mentioned earlier, here are some examples of non-verbal communication, which includes gestures and movements, facial expressions, body language, eye contact, physical touch, and many other things. Let's have a look of a showcase of the non-verbal communication. Number 3, visual communication. Visual communication is the conveyance of thoughts and information in forms that can be seen or read. It is a form of communication that in a part of whole relies on eyesight. Visual communication is one of the most important ways that people communicate and share information. Using visual communication methods helps the receiver or the audience understand the information or the message. Some examples of visual communication are signs, symbols, imagery, maps, graphs, charts, photos, drawings, and many others. These examples really help us to communicate. For example, most of the signs or symbols really help people, especially the drivers, to drive safely and get or understand the message or the information. Let's have a look of the showcase of the visual communication. Number 4. Interpersonal communication. What is interpersonal communication? Interpersonal communication is the use of language or thought by a communicator within himself. It is defined as self-communication, which might involve self-talk, imaginative activities, and visualization. This communication is a process by which an individual communicates with themselves, acting as both as a sender and a receiver of message. It is communicating with yourself with no other party, and it is a deep talk between you and yourself. For example, using self-talk to calm yourself down or to cheer yourself to be confident. So, let's have a look at the examples. So, you have to be confident so that you can win this. But I'm a little bit nervous, you know. But I am a brave person. I'm pretty. I have a confidence. So I can do this. I can win this. Fighting song. Number 5. Interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is the process by which people exchange information, feelings, and meaning through verbal and non-verbal message. It is often characterized as communication between people who are interdependent on each other and know each other in some way. Interpersonal communications refers to the entire process and practice of exchanging ideas, information, and even emotional experiences, powerful and vital force that is more than just words. It is a set of cues that come from the voice, body language, facial expression, and gestures. Examples of interpersonal communication are meetings, presentations, and face-to-face conversations or exchange of information. So, now let's have a look for the examples of interpersonal communication.
Hey, I feel like I'm going to fail this course.
Hello? What? Why?
It's just, I feel like this course is not for me. I really am having a hard time.
Then why did you take this course?
Because my parents made me do it.
Then are you happy with this course?
No, because this is not the course I want.
You know what? You're the one who is suffering, not your parents. So I suggest you to talk to your parents first and tell them that this course is not really for you, so that you can shift in another course while it's still early. You know, we know that your parents can understand you.
Yeah, you're right. I will do it. Thank you so much.
No problem. You're welcome. I got you. Okay, bye. Have a nice day.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Number 6. Formal communication. Formal communication refers to the flow of official information through proper designated channels and routes. It makes us use a prescribed language which is organized. It is used in conjunction with formal etiquette rules and customs. It is communication between two or more people done in a formal and official style. Both the sender and the receiver exchange their ideas and thoughts through formal conversation with the proper words and the proper way to talk formally. Formal communications refers to the interchange of information officially. The flow of communication is carefully managed and is a deliberate effort. This allows information to reach and desired place without any hindrance and in the proper way. Examples of formal communication are a planned meeting or conference, reports, publications, classes, seminars, online meetings, and many others. So now, let's have a look for the example of formal communication. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. A pleasant morning to each and everyone. To my dearest students and graduates, I'm very proud of you because you worked so hard and today you graduated from elementary level, and we are so inspired to see you wearing your graduation attire. I wish you every success and joy, always love, and hug your parents for you. Dear graduates, these graduations prepare you to a new stage of life, walking in path of your dreams. I hope you have many more success to your life in the future. But always remember that this is just the beginning of your journey to more challenges and biggest tasks as you continue your higher education. My dear graduates, you must be proud and thankful to the two people who have been the biggest inspiration in your life. The two people is your father and your mother. They were helping you from the beginning to stand up and take your first step, supported you every step of the way, and even as you grew older and gained independence. They bringing you to school for learning knowledge result in what you have for today. Graduates, I'm going to ask your favor, and please all go to your parents and let a big round of applause for your father and mother, as well as your dear teachers for being success your first ladder of education. Most of all, praise and thanks to the Almighty Allah, our God, for the blessings He had given to us and our family. Once again, congratulations and have a happy graduations. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Lastly, the informal communication. Informal communication is a casual communication between two or more people. It is unofficial in nature and is based on the informal social relationships that are formed. It is communication that is improper and it is usually used with friends and family. It also contains shortened versions of word and slang words. In informal communication, you can freely use any words and language in any way that you want, mostly to communicate with your friends or cousins. It is a form of social communication outside of the formal setting, and it is used at home and by friends. Examples of formal communications are family gatherings and conversation with friends and family. So, for the last types of communications, let's have a look of the example.
Madami kong module. Madami ka din bang module?
Oo, madami din akong module. Pareho lang tayo.
Sino yan?
Hi guys! Alam nyo ba?
Ano?
Di ba alam nyo may crush ako?
Mm-mm.
Alam mo ba kanina, akala ko ako yung gusto, yung pala, lalaki din yung gusto.
Wow!
Kaya nga, di ba?
So, that is the last type of communication. And now, I will summarize it to you. Communication is the process by which people send messages or exchange ideas or thoughts with one another in a verbal or non-verbal manner. There are 7 types of communication. First, verbal communication. Second, non-verbal communication. Then, visual communication. 4. Intrapersonal communication. 5. Interpersonal communication. 6. Formal communication. And lastly, informal communication. That is all the types of communication. And that's all my presentation. Again, I am Marna S. Ali from DMD1B. Thank you for watching and God bless. Have a good day, everyone.